your Long Riders did to Tommy Rich, I have a very hard time understanding.
Well, you shouldn't have a hard time because I don't. Listen, that man pile drive me 12 times in the middle of the ring in Memphis, Tennessee. I could have been killed. But let me tell you something. I don't care how much money it takes. The Long Riders are going to get rid of him once and for all. I want you to take a little peek at the guys who did it, baby. The Long Riders, one of the greatest teams in the history of professional wrestling. And you'll know why, baby. And you know what? Don't be calling me these type names out here and saying these type things. They might do it to you, too. The Long Riders, baby. The greatest team in the world.
Competition. John King explodes into the ring, and as he does, he's catching Irwin a series to the midsection, one to the side of the jaw, an Irish whip. Ooh. King tried to set him for a backdrop, and it was Irwin a step ahead. Headbutt now by King, and that time King caught a rabbit punch at the base of the skull. Boot to the midsection again that puts King back to the canvas. Once again, back to the side headlock. All right, the Long Riders tag up. And it's a clubbing-like blow across the thoracic area of the back of John King. Now a bear hug coming underneath the rib cage. And that'll force the air out of the lungs, and as you force the air out of the lungs, if the right supply of oxygen doesn't get into that bloodstream, then lactic acid does not burn off, and if it doesn't burn off, heavy fatigue sets in. So that's why breathing becomes such a very, very critical part of the sport. And so it's Hog Irwin in there now, driving the knee once again to the abdominal wall of John King, and King really sucking for air now. Comes with a glancing blow to the midsection, another one that did not have authority. King got him with a drop kick, and that took every bit of energy that he had, and he's repaid in kind with a boot to the back of the head. Then a boot into the shoulder. And so the Long Riders continue to dominate the situation here with John King and Keith Herrick. Again, that bear hug, and again, forcing that air out of the lungs of John King. You can continue to hear the Irwin shouting about no competition, no competition. There's a looping right hand, almost an uppercut now by the Long Riders, and they tag up once again. Shot and Bill Irwin, and they drive a boot into the midsection. Another snap mare that takes Keith Herrick to the canvas. The rear chinlock now by the Long Rider. Referee Jerry Calhoun, quick perfunctory check there to make sure it was not a choke. Excellent close-up, and Irwin driving a boot right into the chest of Keith Herrick. They get the 3 count.
Yeah, that's it.
They get the 3 count. Of course, this is a...
Well, there we saw the Long Riders, and Thunderbolt once again. There's a guy behind them.
They're rough, and Hart is behind them with some money.
Boy, I'll tell you, no question about it. We were involved, and we happened to see a match that we want to show you now. A match involving Tommy Rich and Bob Roop. We're just going to see the tail end of it. We're going to be taking a look at the Long Riders. They're going to be doing the talking about it. They were the ones that were involved. And if we can right now, let's go to the interview and that thing involving Tommy Rich and the Long Riders.
With me, of course, the National Tag Team.
The Long Riders. Let me tell the people who you are talking to there, Shorty. Hey, you're talking to the Long Riders. Now I want to direct myself to Mr. Brad Armstrong. Hey, you know, your dad had a little bit more brains than you. He never did step in the ring with us. We tried. We tried to get him to come in the ring against us, but he wouldn't. But you did. Now you know better. And now you're gone. So, Mr. Rich, who was your partner, you keep returning. You keep coming back. You're like a dumb dog. You know, my dog, when I teach him to sit and to stay, it only takes 1 or 2 times. Rich, you've been back 2 and 3 times. Let me tell you something, Rich. You're starting to really get on my brother Scott Hogg's nerves. Tell him about it, Scott Hogg. You know what? I think all the bleach he used on his hair has done gone down into his brains. We got a little tape here. Let's roll it and show him what we do to him. Yeah, you're going to see it right here, people, how we knock people around, how we beat them up. You know what you're going to say? It takes two of us. Yes, it takes two of us, but we don't care. We just like to beat people up so much, we do it together. I like beating people up, and so does my brother.
If you don't get on out of here.
Seeing it right now. You know, I want them to look real good at this man on my T-shirt. Hank Williams Jr. You know, he fell off a cliff, almost killed himself, but he came back. You know, Jimmy Hart, you laid out your $1,000 bounty. You're a big, bad, tough, little punk wimp. You ain't no kind of man because you ain't got the guts to get in the ring. So you got to hire people like the Long Riders. You hired guys like the Long Riders to collect your bounty. You paid $1,000. Well, you pay $1,000 because they ain't got the job done yet. Tommy Wildfire Rich is still walking. And whether it be the crazy man from Sudan Abdullah the Butcher, whether it be Stan Hansen, whether it be Thunderbolt Patterson, whether it be Ole Anderson, anytime, anywhere, any place, you bring your boys on, Hart. I'm ready.
Really looking to be on tour. Columbus, Mansfield, Toledo, really. I'm going to be looking for you, Bob Roop. I remember that parking lot. Don't forget, I got a memory like an elephant. I'm going to be right with you, Tommy.
You know what it amounts to, Ronnie? We ain't been on tour in a long time. Toledo, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. We coming to all them towns. You know, Jimmy Hart, you little wimp, I know you're going to be in some of them. And you put a bounty on me, and you ain't got the job done. I'm going to get you.
I'll be watching them.
Yeah.